Do you ever wonder why some characters feel so real while others feel flat no matter how hard you try? After studying hundreds of movies inside and out, I found the exact techniques that pro screenwriters use to create characters that audiences can't forget. So in this video, I'll show you what they are and how to use them to bring your characters to life, making your story impossible to ignore. Let's start with a movie you're probably familiar with, Inception. Right from the opening, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, Cobb, has us hooked. But it's not because he's cool or likable. From the very beginning, you can feel that there's something driving him. You see it in every scene, the choices that he makes, the chances that he takes, and even the people that he chooses to work with. It's the only reason he agrees to go into Cillian Murphy's mind in the first place. As the story keeps going, it becomes very clear none of this is random to him. And this is exactly what makes his character and the entire movie so engaging. Cobb has a very specific goal. He wants to get home to his family.
How would you like to go home? To America? To your children?
Can't fix that. No one can.
Just like Inception.
Cobb, come on.
Nothing else matters to him. This one goal is the engine of the entire story. So how do you do this in your own screenplay? If you want to make your story this compelling, give your character one clear goal. Something so important to them that it guides every single action they take. And anytime you get stuck, all you have to do is come back to your characters and their goals. So if your character wants to make some money, no matter what scene you're writing, you can always come back to this. Instead of wondering what needs to happen here, you just ask yourself, what would my character do here to make money right now? If you do that, your characters will drive themselves through your story, and it'll be so much easier to write it.
Seriously, how much money you make?
I told you, 70,000. Well, technically 72,000 last month, something like that.
You made 72 grand in 1 month.
I actually made a 5-day mini course for building characters that you can get sent straight to your email by clicking the link below. It's not enough to just give your characters a goal. There's a crucial mistake that writers make at this stage, and it's why even when a character does have a clear goal, the audience still just doesn't care. It's not just about telling the audience what the character wants, it's about making them feel how badly the character wants it. A great example of this is Lester Burnham in American Beauty, because Lester's goal is, well, it's questionable. He's obsessed with his daughter's best friend Angela, but notice how the movie shows us this instead of Lester just saying it.
This is my friend, Angela Hayes.
Okay. Good to meet you. You were also good tonight. Very precise.
When Lester meets Angela for the first time, you can immediately tell how captivated he is. But he doesn't need to blatantly say it. It's just from how he's behaving. Then in every scene, we watch as he starts lifting weights, calling her on the phone, and throwing up soda when she says that she's gonna spend the night.
I forgot to tell you, she's gonna spend the night. Is that okay?
His obsession is basically spilling through the screen, and the reason it's so effective is simple. We see how far Lester is willing to go for this goal. The movie doesn't need to spell it out. So how can you apply this in your own screenplay? Whenever your character has a goal, don't just make them talk about it. Put them in situations where they have to act on it and let the audience connect the dots themselves. So if your character wants to get in shape, show them cutting out junk food or using steroids or waking up at 5 a.m. to run in the dark. When the audience sees them making sacrifices and taking these risks, they'll believe the goal matters and they'll care just as much as the character does. Now, once you show your character has this goal, how do you make sure that they actually feel like a real person who's going after it? This is something I see writers struggle with all the time. In fact, I was coaching a writer on this very issue last week. Their character had a clear goal. It was there on the page, but the choices the character was making, they just felt off. It just didn't feel like there was a real human behind the wheel. So how did we fix it? Let me show you using the movie Silver Linings Playbook. At first, the story seems very simple. Bradley Cooper just wants to get back his ex-wife. That's his goal. But what makes the story so compelling is not just the goal itself, it's why he wants it so badly. From the very beginning, we learn about his obsession with her. He writes her some letters, he works on himself, and he tries everything he can to win her back, even though there's literally a restraining order keeping them apart. Like, come on, buddy, get the message.
You look good. Did you lose a lot of weight?
I did, yeah, I did. Thank you.
Get away from me! Get away! Get away!
All right, I'm better. I just want to let you know I'm better now. Okay, I'm better.
But what's driving him? It's the fact that he believes she's the only woman who could ever make him happy. That's why he agrees to partner with Jennifer Lawrence. You know, it's not because he cares about the dance competition. It's because she promises to deliver his letter to his ex-wife. This belief is exactly what shapes his transformation in the end, because Bradley Cooper realizes the truth. His belief was wrong, and he lets go of his obsession and opens himself up to someone new.
Thank you. I love you. I knew it the minute I met you. I'm sorry it took so long for me to catch up.
That's the power of giving your character a belief. So how do you use this? Give your character a belief that defines how they go after their goals. So maybe your character believes that the only way to make money is to rob a bank. So to make money, he robs a bank. His transformation in the end would probably reflect him somehow overcoming this belief. And he realizes that that's not the right way to go about making money. I didn't think it would be so hard to realize that. The idea is that throughout the story, your character's words, actions, and gradual transformation will somehow be warped by this single belief. This is exactly how I helped that writer that I mentioned earlier, and it will make your characters actually feel human. Now, here's a concept you've probably heard of before, but most writers don't actually use it properly. And without it, your characters will always feel flat no matter how strong their goals are. Let me show you how it works. If you've ever seen Taken, on the surface, it seems like a simple action movie. You know, Liam Neeson runs around threatening bad guys and getting in the shootouts and just dropping one-liners, all while leaving a trail of bodies behind him.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
And sure, yeah, it's entertaining, but that's not why the story works so well. What makes Taken stand out, what makes people care about it, is something a lot deeper. It's not just the action, it's what the action is about. Liam Neeson's character isn't just trying to rescue his daughter, you know, he's battling with the regret of being an absent father. This is his internal conflict. Every punch, every bullet, every threat he makes is not just about stopping bad guys, it's about redeeming himself, you know, and it's about fixing his relationship with his daughter. This is what separates surface level characters from characters that actually stick with you after the movie is over. It makes everything feel so much more important. So what do you do instead? Do whatever you can to get to the root of your character's goals. If they're trying to win some big court case, you know, maybe it's to prove that they aren't a failure like their father always said they were. This deeper emotional motive is what makes every scene hit harder, because now the audience isn't just watching events, they're watching someone fight for something that matters to them. But once you nail your protagonist, you might be asking yourself, how do I build the rest of my characters without just bloating the whole story? This technique is the answer, and if you use it properly, your supporting characters will practically write your screenplay for you. To show you this, let's look at Rocky. You know, up front, it seems like another basic story. Rocky wants to win the fight, but what makes the movie so riveting isn't just Rocky's desire, it's the fact that Apollo Creed wants to win the same exact fight as he does. Only one of them can win this fight. This is what creates tension. Every single scene, every training montage, every press conference, it's all driven by these two characters chasing the same goal, but they're standing directly in each other's way. So how do you do this yourself? The really cool part is that this doesn't just apply to hero versus villain. You can use this technique with any character in your story. So if you have multiple characters with goals that are in blatant contradiction of one another, each of their pursuits of their goals is what's going to drive the story forward. So say you have a love triangle. Right off the bat, you have a girl and two guys competing for her. And even the girl can have like some other guy that she's lusting after. You can make an entire movie solely off of this premise. Seriously though, give every supporting character in your script a specific goal and make it so that what they want interferes with someone else's goal. That's how you create a story that feels alive. Conflict isn't just explosions and arguments, it's characters all trying to get what they want at the same time. And when you structure it like this, the story tells itself. But what happens when they agree on the goal? How do you create conflict then? Does that mean that you're just stuck with a boring story? No. In fact, some of the most emotionally charged movies work exactly like this, and understanding why will bring your character dynamics to the next level. For this one, take Interstellar. Nearly every character agrees on the same thing, you know, save humanity without risking Earth's current inhabitants. You have Cooper, Brandon, Murph. They all share this goal, so why does the story still have so much tension? Because even though they agree on what they want, they clash over how to get it. When Cooper and Brand visit Miller's planet, the one where every hour costs them 7 years on Earth, they both want to complete the mission, but Cooper's belief is that time is the enemy. You know, he wants to get the data and escape fast to preserve precious years with his family. But Brand, well, she just wants to acquire the data from the planet. So despite the massive tsunami coming after them, she insists on going after it. Her priority is very clear: the mission. Same goal, different beliefs. And because of that, Brand's hesitation traps them on the planet, costing them 23 years. This is how you make even cooperative characters feel like real people, by giving them different beliefs about the same goal. To do this yourself, the trick is to work around your main character's belief. Whatever he believes about the goal, your other characters need to believe something entirely different. So in The Social Network, and yes, I know I reference this movie a lot, but I have a poster of it behind me, so what do you expect? Mark Zuckerberg and Eduardo Saverin both want Facebook to succeed, but while Eduardo believes that friendship and loyalty are the things that matter, Marcus believes in ruthless efficiency, even if it costs him his best friend. The takeaway is this: when characters share a common goal, don't just force them into random arguments. Just give them different beliefs surrounding the goal. These layered beliefs add substance to your character's goals so that not only are they getting in each other's way, but it actually feels like there's a reason they're pursuing them. These beliefs are what's going to drive everything. Their characters, their dialogue, the theme even. It's just going to naturally bring about all this conflict instead of you trying to just force conflict for the sake of conflict. But what if you're struggling to implement all this yourself? What if you understand it in theory, but when you actually sit down to build your characters and put them on the page, nothing seems to click? If that's you, I've put together a free mini course that will walk you through exactly how to do this step by step. You'll learn how to develop compelling characters, craft conflict naturally, and make sure that every character you write actually serves the story. If you want to check it out, just click the link in the description below and get access to the free mini course. And by the way, if you'd like to know everything that I've ever learned about screenwriting, click this video here.